Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for mid-February 2025. You have this Broken Open card and this Healing the Heart card. Makes a lot of sense that you could be kind of opening up at this time. And this will continue through like May at least. So, a lot of you could be feeling more open or kind of feeling like you're healing or getting to a healing place in your life. And again, this just shows up in your astrology anyway, so it makes perfect sense to me that this could be happening. And again, it is kind of like a good time for healing, so if you're continuing to do any healing, that also makes a lot of sense. You start with the Hierophant as how you are entering into the reading, and again, this is another thing that makes a lot of sense. You are here to be a teacher, and you are probably teaching with the Hierophant. As I always say, Pisces, you are definitely going to be the example for people moving forward because people are going to be looking for answers. And, Pisces has basically been through what everybody else is about to go through. So people are going to be kind of like using Pisces as an example. And, the Hierophant is the teacher. And I would say you're not like teaching people by like standing up in front of a classroom. I mean, unless that's your job, but it's like you're not going to be telling people what to do. People are going to be using you as an example. So, as I always say nowadays, I think it's a great time for Pisces to make sure that they are being a positive example to other people. And if you do that, then you will get the rewards like from the universe, right? So that's what I would say about this. Definitely, I also feel that you are like being initiated into something. The Hierophant is initiating these two people into his belief system, and I feel like it's almost like you are being initiated into something. I'm not getting much more on that message, but it is popping into my head. Your crossing energy is the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups with crossing, the crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you in a Celtic cross. I don't feel like you're necessarily miserable, although you do have the Nine of Swords coming up here, or anything like that, but I do feel it's saying you do need to focus more on happiness, things that make you happy, things that you, activities, hobbies, people, places, things that you can focus on that bring more happiness into your life. It's almost as if there's, you have no work cards here, which is really funny. But I just get this feeling of like working too much, with the Ten of Cups. If you work too much, you become more dull. So I feel the Ten of Cups is saying you need some, vibrancy in your life. You need some excitement or joy or peace or happiness, whichever feelings you feel you're missing. And I would find things that bring those feelings into your life. It could be anything. Like I said, it could be, a certain hobby that you have, something you enjoy doing. But I feel for the rest of the month, you definitely need to bring this energy into your life. You have the Justice card in the area of what's on your mind or the area of your thoughts. The Justice card is cause and effect. It also could represent justice, thinking about justice or getting justice. One thing I will say is that I kind of feel like there's something you have to let go of. You have the Nine of Swords down to the Strength card, and the Nine of Swords is kind of like reliving something in your head over and over and over again. And the Strength card would be a change in perspective in this reading. It's almost popping into my head here that some of you might be having I feel like you have let go of something, but you could still be thinking about it or, ruminating on it. This could be like a breakup or someone who did you dirty or whatever. And I'm not saying you are thinking about this person as in you want to go back to them, but I feel like it's like if something unjust happened to you in a connection, you could be just thinking about how there is no justice, right? And I feel like the Strength card is a little bit your solution. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but I feel like the Strength card is kind of saying you need to start realizing, the strength that the situation gave you, or what you learned from the situation, or what you could learn from the situation if you look at it, because I feel like that's going to set you free from whatever this is. You have the Hangman in your foundation, which is good because the Hangman is you, and the Hangman kind of represents gaining enlightenment as well. He's hanging from the tree of knowledge and wisdom. His head is glowing. He has gained enlightenment on his situation, and now he is ready to move forward. So I feel a lot of you, it's kind of like you are ready to move forward towards your next goal, wish, or dream, or whatever you want to call it. And I feel like it is time to move forward. I feel like it is time to get moving forward. And I kind of feel in this reading, it's like a good reading, right? You have this blessings card, you have like this freedom of location card. You have so many good cards here, but I can't, like, I don't sugarcoat my readings, and I just can't get away from something that's popping into my head that isn't exactly clear. I also don't say if I don't know, right? But it's like, I get this feeling of holding on to something that happened years ago, and which could be a very Piscean thing to do in the first place. And it's like, if you would let go of whatever the situation is, I feel like you would be set free overnight, literally. It's like whatever is dominating your thoughts in the middle of February here, or whatever keeps popping up in your head. Like, if you would just kind of see the lesson, or if you would just look at it and let it go, I feel you would be set free so much faster. So I will say that with that card. But again, I still feel pretty good about it. I feel like you are moving forward. Next, in the area of your past position, you have this exchanging gifts card. It says there's a dance of give and take. What you give, you will get back. You have this up in the air card. It says the situation has many unknown elements due to the influence of others. Again, this could be a past love situation that you're thinking about. And again, I definitely don't think you're going back to anyone here, Pisces, but, with the astrology, North Node in Pisces, Venus will be retrograding in Pisces in the future. I can see how maybe some of you are thinking about a past love situation, and it's almost like, there are too many open loops in the connection is really what I feel. I'm just going to tell you what I feel here, Pisces, is it's like, I feel like there are too many, like, open loops. I feel like there are, if this was a connection that you can't stop thinking about from the past, or, again, this might start in the middle of February. You might be perfectly fine right now, and it might pop into your head later. So just remember this when this happens, or if it happens. But it's like there are too many unanswered questions and things. And I really feel there is no answer to the question. It's like sometimes I think, people do things to us, or things happen in connections, and there just is no answer. I know that's not a good answer, but there just isn't. Like, some people, their nature in relationships is to be a cheater, right? It's like, it reminds, this reading is reminding me of the scorpion and the toad, or the scorpion and the turtle, or the scorpion and the frog, whichever one you prefer. I don't care. But, if you don't know the story, it's like a scorpion is on the side. I'm paraphrasing here to make this faster, but he's basically on the side of a river. A toad comes along. He asks the toad, hey, will you bring me across the river? The toad's like, no, you're going to sting me. Then eventually scorpion gets him to do it. And then halfway across the water, the scorpion stings him in his back. And he says, why did you sting me? And the scorpion says, it's in my nature, right? And so it's like, some people are just scorpions, right? And there is no answer to what's going on here. And I feel that for some of you, that's what you need to set yourself free from with this Four of Wands. And this doesn't even have to be love. It's like, it could have been someone who burned you in business. It could have been someone who burned you in some other area of your life. But I do get that story popping into my head. Next, in the very near future, you have this change card and this blessings card. Yes, you need to see the blessings that are coming in for you, and I feel like you need to realize that there are blessings waiting for you, but it's time to change, right? The Nine of Swords is in pain, but he is not in enough pain to make a change. That's why I always say, to me, the Nine of Swords is the worst card in the tarot, because he's in pain, but he's not doing anything about it. It's not enough for him to get out of bed. The trick with the Nine of Swords is that we have to get out of bed before we experience that much pain that we are forced to make a change. It always reminds me, this card, of like, we see this, I just use money as an example, because it's an easy example to give for the Nine of Swords. Where it's like, many successful people, they like make a bunch of money, and then they kind of they kind of start going down, and they get into this comfort zone. And this has been studied many times, right? And then, then what will happen is, like, they'll make millions of dollars, right, on their business. They'll go buy a Ferrari or something like that. And then their money will start slowly going down over time, and they'll do nothing about it, right? And then what will happen is they won't be able to make the payment on their Ferrari, and they also won't be able to pay their mortgage. And then guess what happens? They go back up again. They start making a bunch of money. And the reason is because, that pain triggered them to be successful. But it's like, why did they need the pain in the first place to have the trigger to go back up, right? We can just go like this, or hopefully like this in life, right? We can go up and to the right. We don't have to wait until something becomes so painful that we make a change. And so I feel like the Nine of Swords is saying, it's kind of like looking at that pattern in your life. It's like, is there a pattern in your life that you are wanting to interrupt, right? And I feel like this is about a pattern interrupt. There you go. Next, in your outcome positions, you have this freedom of location. It says a truly prosperous life is one with freedom to travel and freedom to live in the location that you desire. You are probably thinking about this more with Jupiter still in Gemini. You have this advocate card. It says you will find so much fulfillment in working for a cause that you truly believe in. I would ask you that as well. Like, just the first few cards here, it's like, do you still believe in what you're doing? And I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. And, again, that's something I would look at. And, it doesn't even necessarily say that you don't believe in what you're doing. It could say that there are just certain parts of what you're doing that you don't believe in anymore. Or, there could be ways that you could make what you're doing more enjoyable. And that's what I would be focusing on. Over the next few months, you have the strength card, which is great. I feel like you are developing strength. The thing about strength as well is that people are seeing her strength. Like, people are seeing that she has put the work in. They, like, who in their right mind sticks their hands in a lion's mouth? I always say, no one is the answer. So people are seeing her putting on a display of strength. So you have a great opportunity to stand out over the next few months and through your strength and making decisions that require strength. And I would definitely encourage it. You have the Emperor in the area of your closest relationships. Yes, if you do want love, definitely, it's probably the best time for love for you anyway. Even with Venus going retrograde, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I just wouldn't rush, right? I wouldn't rush right into something. I wouldn't do the typical Pisces, I'm going to give you everything without you giving me anything in return, and I'm just going to give until my fingers bleed, right? Don't do that with this person. Give a little. Wait for them to give a little. Get rid of your anxiety, because I know how Pisces operates. You give because you're anxious that they're going to leave, and then they don't give, and then they do leave, and it just becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Give a little bit. Let them give you more, and then you give a little bit, right? And as long as you do that, I feel like you will be fine. But definitely could be an Emperor. I'm telling you right now, there's something weird. Because recently, Pisces has been getting these fire signs in the reading. So it could be a fire sign or a person with fire in their chart. You have all three right here. Leo, Aries, and Sag right here. So definitely could be someone with fire in their chart. Doesn't have to be a fire sign. But, the Temperance card is coming up in the area of your future feelings. Kind of weird feeling. I do feel like you are being more patient. I feel like you are, I get this like stop and smell the roses type of energy here off of the Temperance card, but that kind of leads me to believe that this is a very good thing. It's like clearly something could be happening for you, over the next few months that kind of puts you in this position where you're able to take a break or you're able to stop and smell the roses. And again, I've never really felt that on the Temperance card. It's not even what the Temperance card represents, but it's kind of what I've been feeling, what I'm feeling intuitively for you is that like something is happening, and this could be a good thing. Could be more money, could be that you're just getting a break or something like that. Your outcome is the Lovers. So like I said, it's probably the best time for Pisces for love. And so there definitely could be a love connection coming in for you. If you don't want love, the Lovers can represent like picking a new path. Even if you do want love, there could be kind of like a new path that you're picking, especially with that Nine of Swords. I feel like the Nine of Swords is actually very important in your reading. A card can be uncomfortable, but it can also be an important energy that you have to work with. I believe all the cards are important energy to work with. So I would look at anything that needs to be interrupted, or if you have something that is repeating, like part of your story, like again, maybe you always get a job and then things go wrong and then you get fired. It's like, why does that happen? Maybe you have the same story in relationships or somewhere else in life, and I feel like there is an opportunity for you to like break a cycle here, Pisces, and that is definitely what I would focus on. Let's see. With the Ten of Cups and the Hierophant, sorry, I knocked this deck over. You have the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is about being resourceful and tapping into your resources. Again, it is a good time for money for you, Pisces. I mean, there's plenty of things you can be doing to improve your finances. I do feel it's going to require a little bit of stretching. Like, you can't keep doing the same thing you've been doing. You have to make some upgrades. Upgrade is a good word to focus on. Experimentation, innovation, those are good words to experiment with and, kind of work on as well. With the Justice card, you have the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is walking away from things that no longer serve you. It kind of gives me the feelings of you like not needing closure. So, if there's a situation in your life that you have been hoping to get closure on, you could finally be realizing that you're just not going to get closure and you could be moving on. So I feel would be a good thing. Again, do we really need, I always ask that question, right? As adults, do you really need closure? Do we really need it? Probably not, right? If we're honest with ourselves, it's like maybe we just need to learn to accept that the person chose to walk away, and that's the closure that you're gonna get. We're adults, right? So I think the whole closure thing is a little bit, whatever. But what I would say here is like, do we really need it? No. You can just go find someone else, right? And find someone better. Just that simple. With the Hangman, you have the King of Pentacles, divine counterparts right here. I feel like this could be a little bit of a switch being flipped. Like, if you can get to the bottom of this right here, I feel that, like, love could be coming in for you very quickly. Let's say you haven't had love for, like, years, right? And, which I feel that for some of you. It's like, maybe you haven't had love for years, and you're, like, thinking to yourself, like, why don't I have love? And it's because you didn't get to the bottom of something. And it's almost like if you get to the bottom of whatever you keep repeating, just literally by thinking about it, I don't even think you have to do anything other than to have the realization, right? Like, sometimes I think we just have to wake up. We just have to say, like, oh, I have a bad habit of overgiving, or I have a bad habit of not picking up on the signs, or, I have a bad habit of not paying attention what's really going on. Like, sometimes I think if we just realize it, then that's it. That's all we have to do. And, it clears the energy. But there definitely could be a divine counterpart coming in. With the Four of Wands, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in your life. And see, I'm wondering if some of you have been through something where you thought you had the person that you really wanted and desired, but really it wasn't. And, now you're worried here because, this is coming up in the past position, and it can say that maybe you feel, these two could say that you feel like you lost out on everything you want and desire, but really I feel like the best is yet to come. Like, I don't think you lost out at all. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Wheel of Fortune, a cycle. Like I was saying, Wheel of Fortune is a good card, but with the Nine of Swords, it definitely says that you have to end a cycle. Now, here's the thing with the Wheel of Fortune, is that we have to take control of the wheel. We can control the direction. We want to live at the center of the wheel. And so how do we live at the center of the wheel? It's pretty simple. When you see bad things coming, you take care of them right away. Pisces, especially in relationships, has bad habits with boundaries, right? So instead of thinking like, oh, if I correct this boundary up front, this person's going to leave me, your brain should be telling you, like, no, I need to correct this boundary now, and if they do leave me, then I just save myself a bunch of time. Instead of being a Pisces and staying in this connection for a year when I know it isn't right, I made the decision to draw the boundary, and I found out this person was a dumbass bozo right up front. So now I don't have to waste my time. That's what you should be thinking, right? When you correct those things quickly. So the thing with the Wheel of Fortune, we have to take care of those challenges right away. We can't clam up and, hide. And also, when good things happen, we should double down on those good things as well. That's how you take control of the wheel. With the Strength card, you have the Hierophant again. So the Hierophant is your belief system. That's what I feel it is in your reading. Now, remember what I said is that you could be teaching people. I said that at the beginning. And then it's funny that with the Strength card, I said that you could be getting a lot of attention for putting your strength on display. And also, what I said with that Hierophant is it's not like you're teaching people. I feel like you're just putting yourself out there more, or you're putting your skills on display. That's how you're going to be teaching. With the Emperor, you have the Magician. Like, you are attracting, you could literally be attracting an emperor with your, attraction, with the law of attraction. But I also feel that it's, clearly connected here. So, like I said, when you have that realization of what you need to correct, like in connections, then I think that will lead to success faster. The Magician is pointing towards this card here, and it says adventures on it. You have that up in the air card that says the situation has, or no, not that one. You had this one right here, this freedom of location that said you could be traveling. It is a great time for adventures for everyone. So any adventures or travel that you could do would be a good idea. With the Temperance card, you have the Six of Pentacles. Again, progress. I feel like you're making progress with the Temperance card. Remember what I said, like, stop and smell the roses. And it's probably because there's, like, growth. I do feel financial growth in this reading as well. So, again, a lot of you could be finally making progress financially. With the Lovers, you have the Two of Wands. Yes, you are not going to find this person sitting at home. You have that Adventure card for the Magician with the Emperor in the area of your closest relationships. Two of Wands says you have to leave your house and get out into the world. The Two of Wands is also a great card for exploration and also a great card for forward progress. So I do feel that you could be making more progress just in general with those cards, which is amazing. So I love it here, Pisces, but let's see. You have this egg card. It says success assured with good plans and hard work. Yeah, any work that you're doing just in general, like if you're working on a business or a career, as I said to you probably in your last reading, I think, no comparing yourself to other people. I would just do the work and I wouldn't even look for examples at this time, because I really feel, Pisces, it's like you have something like brilliant ideas maybe, and if you're looking at other people, you're just not going to do it, because you're going to say to yourself, oh, these people, do this business or this job or this project in this way, and you're going to convince yourself that you have to follow that plan. But no, Pisces needs to follow their own plan. You have this love card. Clearly was a love reading, so, definitely, obviously, there could be love coming in. Not much to say there. So there you go. You have this hand card. It says, in need of help, assistance, or guidance. With the Hierophant twice, you could also be learning from people. And so it is a great time for learning in general. And I would learn from people you look up to. And I would also learn from people who have the results that you desire, right? Like, look at that person's life. Look at the results that they get. And if they get similar results, that's who you should learn from. You have this rabbit card. Says too much concern with sexual matters. I mean, this could be you, Pisces. It wouldn't surprise me if you were really turned on at this time. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I'm just going to say it, right? Because the energy is very turned on for Pisces right now. So you might need to, channel that energy productively. Let's put it that way, right? You have this happiness card, 10 of Cups, definitely needing to focus on happiness, joy, doing, like I said, doing more activities that make you happy, and that's really the only thing you should be focusing on. Let me cover my eyeball so that this focuses, and that will be the best thing for you. But this looks really good, so thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.